Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it to, I'm Bushka on Blitz, back with another dose of love, affection, and generic tanking joy. Today we're going to be talking about the Tier X German TD, the old school one, not the Grill 15, the Avg Panzer E100. This is a bit of a celebration month for the TDs. I've been grinding through all the tanks that I didn't get to on my account using the exhibition account, and we are absolutely burning the midnight oil, pumping out TD videos. And it's surprising because I've seen a real shift towards tank destroyers in-game over the last couple of weeks. And I'm not talking about the new ones either, the Object 263 and the Grill at Tier X. I'm talking about the same olds. The FV215B183s are everywhere, the Avg Panzer E100s, the E3s. It's just all happening out there for the TDs at the moment, and that's a good thing because it certainly brings a lot of balance back to the force. Now, this is a patron-sponsored post. We had a patron-only sponsor stream this morning. Ran around on the EU and the NA servers with that, and we'll be doing a lot more of that in the very near future. Now, I want to talk about this tank in particular. I want to talk about some of the really delightful things about it, namely the incredible penetration values, the massive derp, the size of the rolls you can get, and its huge glaring weak spots. Also, its armor. It's one of the best armored tanks in the game. For all that it is the size of a barn, as big as a house, and that is absolutely no joke. The thing is 134 tons. Its armor is absolutely phenomenal. However, as you can see there, it also has a fair amount of penetration on its heat, because that looked like there was all grey for that Avg Panzer E100. And that's worth mentioning, because when you fire heat with this thing, your average penetration value is, wait for it, 420 millimeters. That's a 170 millimeter gun firing a 420 millimeter penetration heat shell. It is a beast. If you absolutely have to pen in this tank, that's the way to go. I mean, your AP rounds have 299 millimeters of penetration. That's pretty special. I mean, the only tank with more pen on its AP rounds at X is the 310 millimeters you're going to get on the FV215B183, and that's particularly because it doesn't have any high pen alpha damage premium rounds. Its HESH is about 220 millimeters of penetration. So 420 mils is massive, and it's a pretty good gun too. It's 0.35 dispersion with a 2.7 second aim time, which means that you can pull off a lot of snapshots, and you'll see a few of them in the video here. But what's special about this tank is the combination of penetration and alpha. Your standard roll is 800 alpha. So every time you hit, that's your average roll. Your top end roll on the gun is 1,000 flat. And you're gonna see 1,000 flat roll in this video, which is something else. To see 1,000 damage come out of an AP round on a TD that's not the 183 is pretty spectacular. Now, you shouldn't expect that all the time, but something else to bear in mind is your HE shells have an average damage of 1,200. Now, that's a lot. The top end on a HE shell is 1,500. So if you can get a hold of a Leopard or the back of American tanks, anything like that, you can be an absolute nuclear device. You can take just about all their hit points. So if you learn to play this tank well, you're going to be something to be absolutely feared on the battlefield. Now, this all comes with a price, obviously. 30 kilometers an hour is your top speed. 20 degrees is your traverse. So if a medium gets beside you or behind you, it's good night nurse. But if you learn to play it well, you will absolutely adore this. And by that, you can see I've gone straight to a rock there. There's a Leopard coming. He cannot possibly get behind me, and I can't help but hit him. Now, I loaded HE, low roll, but the other thing you use HE for in these tanks into the side of mediums is tracking. And if you fire into the side of a medium in this thing, it will blow the tracks, pen through, and do good HE damage every single time, which is a pretty exceptional thing to do. Now, You can also side scrape like a boss in this thing. The armor profile when you angle it, and you should go and watch my how to play a tank destroyer video part 2, in which I concentrate on the heavyweights, and this is a heavyweight. This is a legitimate monster. You can see we're going to roll down here, and there's a leopard there that we didn't really get a hold of before, and we're going to get one into the back of him. 1152 damage. That's a lot to lay on the table, and it's awfully disconcerting to be in a tank and just see your hit points evaporate like that. And that's exactly what we got through there. Now, you can see 0.35 dispersion, no qualms with snapshotting whatsoever. You can do that on the roll easy every time. We've switched up to heat to make sure that we're going to pen, because you've got 420 pen on your heat. That means you are going through absolutely anything, and when it is a must-win situation, that's what I do. You can sue me for it. I actually just had a game in the Leo 1 where I got a mastery, and I only had 12 APCR in. We'd just been in a training room, and the rest was heat, and I ran out of APCR. Thank God I was on the exhibition account, because if I had been on my normal account, the game would have cost me 60k. It was horrible. Anyway, I digress. So, you've got to be able to angle it. By that I mean you turn it to about 25 degrees left or right of your target, and as long as you're hiding your lower glacis, the amount of penetration that's needed to get through the sloped upper deck, either side of the gun mantlet, is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's a below average roll, 705. I mean, how good is this tank? Now, I want to show you a really fun game I had in this thing. It's going to expose a couple of the weak points, which you'll see at the start. Now, it's so slow. You've got to angle it, and you've got to be careful, but you've also got to be patient. You can't force the issue. One of the reasons I don't push up here on this game is quite simple. They have 4 medium tanks. We have 2. They're going to go to the left. Now, there is a bit of an inequality on Port Bay in the spawns. The far left flank is great for mediums coming from the southern spawn. They can shoot over the lip. You can see there where I'm aiming right now. It's not so good for mediums coming from the northern spawn, because there's a camping spot just to the right of the 2 on the southern spawn there, where people can shoot straight across, and any mediums that go right over will get absolutely wrecked by someone who's a clever sniper. So I'm sitting back here hoping to support my mediums. I'm basically hoping that the T-54 there and his compatriot, the other medium we've got on the hill there, don't push over that lip, because then I will not be able to actually support fire. There will be no visible targets there. And you can see what I'm talking about here. They've moved up, they've moved across. I'm just hoping to support them, and I've got no other options. And that's the problem with a tank this size. A lot of people by now would have lost interest, and they would have pushed forward, and they'd be getting hit from the flanks by one of those mediums over there. There's 3 mediums over on that flank right now. One of them's not spotted. You can't really tell, but they're all there, and they will have free shots across the guys on my right. Now, Ace, Stealth 251 is over there in the Object 268. He's low enough not to get hit, but the rest of the team is going to be fair game. And I've just started moving up when they make their move, and our T-54 YOLOs across the lip. And that's why I've moved, because I can't possibly help him. The other guy's backed off though, so I'm pulling back around to support him. And you can see there what I'm talking about. It's a really tough spawn to actually support that left flank. So that's the big issue with this tank, is mobility. And if you have a medium tank that gets past you, all they have to do is sit on your side and you are cactus. And now we're in a really, really dire spot, because we've missed that shot, which is no good, but I'm hoping to get another one soon. We've got 3 tanks on our right. We've not hit a target yet. We're that far into the game. We've got to make one count. We really need this shot. 420mm of penetration. And that's a beautiful thing about this tank. When you have to get something to go in, you can switch to heat and you know it is going in regardless. And that E50M over there, we're not sure what he's up to, but we're very, very keen to hit him. And there we go. Nice roll. A little bit above average there. 857. Lovely roll to get. We're considering changing from the heat, but we're very, very wary of the fact that there are 6 reds and only 3 of us good guys now. We've got to get down there and get some shots in. You can see the gang are all congregating at the base of this bridge, and this is where it's all going to happen. Unfortunately, stealth is gone, so it's just 2 of us versus 5 now, but we do have a shot, Now, we wasted heat there, but what can you do? We wanted to make sure it goes in every time. That's what we've done. 420 pen, it's going in. It is no time to start worrying about the cost of things. It is 2 on 5, and we are looking for that E50M again. He's silly enough to come back out. Big roll, another 833 roll, and I'm angling. Look at the way I'm angling to the incoming target so they don't get an easy shot on me. This 215B does a great job here, really good job. We think we can take that guy out there. The E50M, another lovely hit, low roll, but we're going to angle up again. See how I turn the tank at about 25-30 degrees to the incoming fire, and I get bounces? It is an incredibly strong, great bouncing tank. Now we're looking for a HE roll on that E50M if he's silly enough to come out. Unbelievable. That is such low splash damage on a tank with no turret. Here comes the IS-7 trying to pull around the back. He's a must hit. We're just aiming for that driver. We want to make sure we get through. There we go. And we've turned it down to 2 on 3 with the IS-4 and the conch still to come. This 215B has played heroically. Absolutely amazing. But this is what this tank can do. If you let it live in close proximity, watch this roll. 1,000. That is a 100% damage roll on the JGPZ E100. And it has absolutely wrecked the poor old IS-4. You can see Stealth 251 absolutely blowing bubbles because that's a huge roll to get on this tank. Again, I've angled and I'm backing off, and suddenly things are not as dim as they seem, as they say in the Chinese restaurant. There you go. The IS-4 is going to push down. The conch knows he's in real strife because he is a sub-average roll for me right now. All I have to do is tap him with an AP round and he will disappear. I'm going to push forward. I want to get rid of him. I've got the hit points. I'm going to be aggressive. One of these guys is going to have to take me on. The IS-4 can see me coming. He wants no part of it. I'm holding my petrol until I get around here on the Conqueror. I have not seen the E50. Now, this is particularly good because as long as he's not here, I should feel pretty happy. He is a well under an average roll now, the conch. Even a low roll will decimate this kid. Where is the E50? We haven't seen him. I think he must be AFK. You're going to see him pop in just a second. I don't know what he's doing, but he's behind me. I'm in big strife. Where is he? What is he doing? He's not shooting. I don't know what he's doing. He's not shooting. The IS-4 is up. We've gone to HE. There he is. He's in a bit of strife now. Just get him, but we're low on time. We've got under a minute to go, and we've got to take out a full health E50. In fact, we've got to see it, and you're going to see Spawn try and bait him out. Come on, fight me. Come on, fight him. Come on, fight him. And this is the best part. This is the absolute best part. Watch this. Watch what Spawn says. Ammo rack him. LOL. You ready for it, boys and girls? 34 seconds to go. There's the 50. Unleash Hell Maximus. Boom goes the dynamite. 1,700 damage. Straight to the face. Everyone's a winner. It's that kind of tank, guys. If you can put it in a situation where you can angle and keep the targets in front of you and drop monster dirt bombs, you are going to love this thing. I really thought I wouldn't like it. I really thought it would be a negative for me, that it was too slow, too immobile, but it's no T95. It can get out there fast enough. And you've got to remember, go and watch the How to TD videos, particularly with the big ones, the second part. It shows you that if you can stay close to cover, hard cover, and the wrecks of tanks and things like that, you can turn this into a tank that, while weak against mediums and CODing mediums, by that I mean circle of death mediums, guys that go around you faster than your traverse can actually turn. If you get cover next to you, you can squeeze them off or at least stop them from going behind you, and no one wants to be in front of this thing when it slowly turns and unleashes a car-sized shell into them, especially not a Russian medium that's half ammo rack, or say a Leopard one that can get penetrated by your HE. I'm Bushka on Blitz. I hope you liked it. The JGPZ-E100. It's been a tremendously long time coming. Always remember to angle. Always remember to stay close to hard cover, and make sure that when you fire, if it's got to go in, Fire those heat shells. Don't be worried about what anyone says. At 420 millimeters of pen, it is just about the best thing you can possibly fire outside of, I don't know, a nuclear bomb to make sure that it's going to hit. Stay safe on the battlefield, team, and until next time, bye for now.